All right, in this video, we're going to discuss getting set up to make an open source contribution. So let me give you an example here. Let's say that you're happily plugging along working on Telescope and you decide to make a change. And while you're in here working on this, you're looking at your changes and you're previewing Git hunks with the awesome plugin Git Signs. And you can see here that there is word diff built in that they recently added. And so you can see that there I added the letter S. So that's nice. But let's say that you wanted this to work differently or you found a bug. You should first go out to the Git Signs repository and see if there is an issue similar as far as a bug or a feature request. And if there is, you can upvote it. Now, you can always put in a feature request and hope that the maintainer or maintainers will work on it, or you can put up a quick issue and say that you'd like to work on it and offer to do a pull request. There's one thing that open source maintainers like more than issues about things. It's pull requests that fix things. That's usually the better route to go. Now, if it's a bug fix, that's one thing. If it's a new feature, you might want to at least post an issue first, just saying that you want to work on it. If it's not a huge effort on your part, then you can just go ahead and post the pull request, and at the very least that'll show the maintainers what you'd like to have and work as kind of a spec for something that you'd like to see. I wouldn't put a lot of work into a pull request without first talking to the maintainers to see if it's in their roadmap or something that they even want. When it comes to bug fixes or small changes or little things that you know are outstanding in their issue list and you think you figured out how to fix it, or you know how to do that really quickly, or you want to spend a little time on it because it looks fun, then you'll want to put up a pull request. And so if I'm in here and I'm working on Telescope and I say, you know what, I'm going to sidetrack for a minute and go see if I can land a pull request in Git Signs and get the feature I want, then what you can do is just fork the Git Signs repository. So using the GitHub CLI, you use the repo command and fork, and you go ahead and fork Git Signs, and it will ask you if you'd like to clone it, and I would. Oh, there we go. Let's try that again. Okay, would I like to clone it? Yes, I would. Okay, and now cd into here. We have the main branch here. Now, the first thing that you want to do once you've cloned this is to look for contributing. And if you read through this, you'll see that the maintainer would like you to not edit the files in the Lua directory. They would like you to use this teal, and the teal source files are generated into Lua files and must be checked in together. So these are things you definitely want to know before going in and start hacking away on source files and then realizing that you've spent a lot of time doing it wrong. You'll find little things like this, especially about generating documentation and how to do tests and that sort of thing. And so you definitely want to look at those things before you go in and just start writing, because then you might have to rework a lot of stuff. So once you know all this stuff, you can start poking around the code and looking at maybe the area that you wanted to get into. So say the diff stuff, if that was what you wanted to take a look at, and poke around and see what's what in there. All right, so now if you wanted to take a look at the issues for this particular repo, then you can start taking a look at Telescope GH issues, and this is using the Telescope GitHub CLI extension. And you're going to get this message here asking if you want to use your repo, the fork that you made, to look at the issues, or if you want to use the upstream. And you want to use the upstream, but you can't pick it in Telescope like this. That's just a preview over there with a buffer. You need to do this in a terminal. So if you pop open a terminal and you just say GH issue list, now you can say, which one do I want? I want this one. All right, great. And now when you get out of here and you look here, you'll get the issues from the proper place, and you can look at the different things there. Now, you want to stay in sync with the upstream repo. What you can do here is say pull upstream, in this case main, and it's going to tell you, well, you're already up to date because we just cloned it. So if we wanted to demonstrate this, I would do something similar here, which is for Telescope, which I know I haven't pulled down in a few days. And so we'll go ahead and say git pull upstream master. And this is set up for you automatically when you use the GitHub CLI. Then you don't even have to worry about any of this stuff. It's very nice. Oh, look at that. I do have the latest Telescope. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Let's see. Okay. It's June 14th. Okay. All right. So I do have the latest. Well, if I didn't, then you would do the pull upstream master and bring that down. And when you bring that down, that updates your local copy of the repository, your clone. So as soon as you pull, you can turn around and push to origin master. Okay, so there's nothing here for me to push, but if I wanted to, I can say push origin master, because upstream master is the repo that you forked from, and origin master is your clone out on GitHub. And so you can take a look at these things here. You have your origin for fetch and push and your upstream for fetch and push. And so if I go here to get signs and I do the same command, same stuff set up. So very simple. You don't have to go out to GitHub. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just do it all right here. All right. So those are things you can do to get set up. Look through the contributing file to see what you may need to do that's different from other repos, but generally you'll create a feature branch on your clone and do your work there and keep it in sync with the upstream repository. And then when you're ready, you can set up a pull request and point it at the upstream master and follow any rules around filling out what needs to go into a pull request for that particular repository. So that's all you need to know. Just a quick video on how to get set up for contributing and using the GitHub CLI to help you get along and do that. So have fun and go out there and just pick something off in open source to do. Documentation, you see a typo, don't assume that, hey, they know that that typo is there. Look to see if there's a pull request out there somewhere or someone already fixed it. And if there isn't, put it in there, because believe me, they'll be grateful 99.99% of the time, because they probably had no idea, because they're busy and they're doing this for free. And so pull requests, definitely better than putting in issues, and definitely better than writing in and complaining that something doesn't work when it's free, because you'll get back, well, put in a pull request because it's free. So that's what you ought to do, and have fun with it, and don't be afraid to do it. Just put in a pull request. The worst thing that can happen is they reject it, and that's life. But most of the time they'll give you feedback on how to get it fixed so that it can go in. All right, well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time with more content about all things Neovim, Git, open source, Rust, you name it. All right, have a nice day.